So Clay, we're gonna talk about Murfreesboro today. We're gonna talk about several different housing options. Is there a home you want to start with?
Yeah, absolutely, Tucker. Let me pull up the properties we're going to go through and take a look. All right, so jumping in our map here, you got downtown Nashville, and Murfreesboro is just southeast, about 30 to 40 minutes, depending on what part of Murfreesboro you're talking about. And here's the 5 homes that we're going to kind of take a look at. 2 of these are active listings of ours, and 3 of them are houses that we've sold recently in Murfreesboro. And we just want to give you some ideas of what life is like at these different price points. Tucker, you want to jump into Burdette Way, our first one here?
Sure, Clay. And what we see with this size home, that 1,500 square foot home, has the 2-car garage, yard in the back, underground utilities. This is in the Blackman community. Great home for couples that are just got married, maybe they're dating, they're ready to start a family or have a small family. This is the type of client that we're seeing that moves into this. It really has all the basic options of what you need. The ecosystem that they like is you're just around other people that do have small families. You have the sidewalks, you have the man-made lakes, you're around just easy access to 840, I-24, you got the Publix, you got the Starbucks. What I like about the Blackman community is you've got all the infrastructure on the south side of I-24. And that's really what I like about this neighborhood.
Yeah, that's a good call, Tucker. For 375 grand, a relatively new house, just around 1,500 square feet, and good interstate access. There's a lot to like there. What about this next one here?
Sure. So we had a client that actually went from a 1,500 square foot home into this 2,500 square foot home. So you still have the 3 bedrooms, you still have the 2.5 baths. What you do get here is the homes are a little bit further apart. Your yard gets a little bit bigger. Your driveway is obviously a little bit bigger, and you just have a bigger living room footprint is what you really get in the home. What I like about this neighborhood and all the neighborhoods around it is they all connect with biking trails and walking paths. And that's a huge piece that you see. And that's really how, when people do relocate here, that's really how people start to meet and find each other because of the pools and the neighborhood fitness center. And you just have that whole ecosystem, which I feel like is very vital to that transition.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. So this was built in 2022, 465 grand for 2,500 feet. That's 185 a foot for a new house. That's kind of an amazing value for a lot of people, I feel like. That's 2 under 500, Tucker. What's the next one on our list here?
Sure, that would probably be Kittywood Court, where you start to move into that 4-bedroom home. Obviously, the homes are even more further apart. Great neighborhoods. Again, because you're in the Blackman community, you have the underground utilities and sidewalks. Can't really stress that enough. Of just pieces that I really like. I like a lot of these homes because the perimeter is really surrounded by tree lines and just fields. And so you're not just going neighborhood. You get the tall ceilings, you get all the key things that you want, which is a modern kitchen, better countertops and just all the room that you would really want. My favorite piece, and it was my client's favorite piece, is that outdoor fireplace. SEC football is just right around the corner, Clay, and I believe there's going to be a television above that fireplace.
Yeah, good call. That's pretty sweet. Get outdoor fireplace, covered patio area, grilling area, fenced-in yard. And again, we're still talking about kind of new construction, relatively new 2017, 650 for almost 3,000 feet. Tucker, one of the things you and I talk about a lot is just there's options in Murfreesboro. There's houses available. You may have a little more scarcity if you get really in the heart of downtown Nashville for these price points. But if you drive 20, 30, 40 minutes out, all of a sudden you have some choices to choose from, which is a lot of the appeal to Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Well, it is, Clay. And just like you said, when people usually call us, they want to live in Nashville. And when we start talking about the price points that they need to be in, and you go, okay, if you want to be near Nashville, it's going to be a dated home, a little bit of a fixer-upper. Your neighborhood could be a little bit more tired than you're really ready for. And then you start moving a little bit further out, and you get into these neighborhoods that have all the conveniences that you need. You're around other people that either have families or are very similar to you. They're moving here from somewhere, and you start picking up those modern conveniences. That's what you see. And then when you talk about something like this on Tanglewood Trail, established neighborhood, wonderful trees in the neighborhood. The reason why people like this neighborhood is because you've got public schools, you have private schools, and you have magnet schools, all right there in that neat little ecosystem. There's just a lot to like about Murfreesboro because there's something for everybody.
So this is one of our listings. And Tucker, I remember the first time you went out there, you were like, man, this feels like a father of the bride situation. The setting, the trees, the feel of that neighborhood is exceptional. And it just is, it's just a very comfortable area. Once you get into that neighborhood, it's kind of set apart. And so this is going to represent, you know, the higher end of the register for Murfreesboro. It's going to be 900 to a million category, low 1 millions. But for that, there's some areas that feel like this, right?
Oh man, screened in porches, you know, you've got a huge den, gorgeous dining room, well-appointed bedrooms. This has a neat area above the garage where they've got a pool table set up, almost kind of like it's almost a man cave above the garage. That was just really neat. So there's just something to like for everybody. But again, just love the neighborhood. And I think the biggest thing that we always try to talk about with our clients is let's start with an area or a neighborhood that we really like, and then we can start really getting down to that specific home that might fit your needs.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of those neighborhoods where people buy this neighborhood, and if they can find a house in there, they wait for one to come on. You can actually walk to the private school at the end of the street. And this is right around 4,000 square feet and built a little earlier, 1988 construction, and it's listed for mid $900,000. So you're like $230 a square foot. But man, this house feels good when you go through that neighborhood, especially. It's like, man, people will buy this area. They got the pool set up in the back and just like live very comfortably in this kind of location in Murfreesboro. Tucker, that takes us to our next property that is a listing of ours, and tell us a little bit about this one.
Sure. So the whole thing about this is that this is in Milton Point. This is just in the outer skirts of Murfreesboro. There's a lot of people, Clay, that want all the accessibility that Murfreesboro has to offer. They just want to be a little bit further out. You're starting to see a lot of these $1 million homes being built in the outer skirts where you've got the land. You can have 1 acre, 3 acres, 5 acres, and then they get the home and all the stuff that they really need that they can go into town for. What you see is a lot of people that work from home and just kind of want that whole feel of just that country feeling without having to be in the hustle bustle of the city. And so you're starting to see more and more of these types of homes right here. And this home was great. Gorgeous views. The bonus room was awesome. I mean, the bonus room, you can have 30 people over there in that bonus room. It's just really neat area.
Yeah, and they did this one right. They got the hot tub. They got the big flat fenced in backyard, newer construction home. So everything feels brand new. It's built in 2021. So for just over $1 million, right at 4,000 feet. And yeah, it's just far enough away from all the noise of the city to where you feel like you can have that peace and quiet and that remote feeling, but you're not that far from everything in Murfreesboro, and you're not that far from Center Hill Lake, right, Tucker?
Mm-hmm. You're about 30 minutes from Center Hill Lake, and it's one of the reasons why they purchased the home, because they do want that access, and at the same time, they just don't want to be right there in the hustle and bustle of the city. So it's a little bit of the best of both worlds.
So there you have it, guys. Like, you have a range of options in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, from 300 to low 1 millions and, 1,500 feet to 4,000 feet. And there's, of course, going to be exceptions that are higher and lower than both of those. But that gives you a good snapshot of options in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, a really popular suburb of Nashville. And you can get newer construction homes in nice neighborhoods that are still developing. The schools, the amount of A-rated schools in Murfreesboro is astounding. There's tons of really good high-rated schools, and if that's something that's important to you, then that is there. And on top of all this, of course, you have Middle Tennessee State University. Tucker, that's one of the largest schools in Tennessee, I believe.
Well, it is, Clay, and not only that, Murfreesboro is a great area to start with if you need to commute into town. and you're needing to be at a certain price point, but you have quite a few needs that you need to fulfill. Also check out Clarksville. And then if you're willing to be a little bit further out, but also want to be near a lake, like within 20 minutes, check out our video on Cookeville, Tennessee.
So there you have it, Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and how far your dollar will go. There are housing options, and this is really close to downtown Nashville. For a lot of people, they commute into town. So you got options for housing. If you're interested in moving to Tennessee or curious about it, give us a call or text. Our number's below, and we look forward to talking with you. And be sure to check out our other videos about some of these other areas around Murfreesboro as well. Till next time, hope to show you around town.